The Premier League is back, and after an absolutely ridiculous summer, we've got new managers, new signings, promoted teams, and enough drama to last us until Tuesday. There are also 9 new managers in the Premier League this season. So, I have one question. How many of them are still going to have a job by Christmas? Because knowing the Premier League, some managers are going to shine and some are probably going to get sacked 3 minutes into the season. So today I'm giving you my full Premier League prediction for the 2026-27 season. So 20th place I have Hull. Look, Hull are back in the Premier League, so congratulations to them. But unfortunately, I'm predicting the Premier League welcome package 20th place. They've got a massive challenge ahead of them, especially with the quality of the teams in this league. I think they'll have some good moments. They'll probably annoy a few bigger teams, but over 38 games, I just don't see them staying up. Sorry, Hull fans, you're getting the first ticket to the on the relegation train. 19th place, Ipswich Town. Ipswich are back in the Premier League, and I think they'll be competitive. But competitive doesn't always mean staying up. They're going to have to deal with teams who have been in this league for years, and the difference in squad depth could really hurt them. I can see them picking up some big results at home, but away from home, yeah, good luck. I'm putting Ipswich 19th. 18th, Coventry, which is actually quite brutal because they're starting the season against the defending champions. Welcome back to the Premier League, Coventry. Here's Arsenal. I think Coventry will have a decent season in terms of fighting spirit, but staying up is going to be incredibly difficult. So I'm predicting 18th and unfortunately back to the championship. 17th place Leeds United. Now this one could age terribly. Leeds are absolutely capable of staying up comfortably, but I think they're going to be involved in a relegation battle for most of the season. They'll probably have one random month where they look like prime Barcelona, then lose 3 games in a row, because that's football. 17th for Leeds, just surviving. 16th Fulham. I don't think Fulham are getting relegated, but I also don't see them challenging for Europe. I think they'll have a pretty normal league this season. A few big wins, a few confusing losses, and a 1-1 draw that nobody will remember. And eventually, 16th. 15th, Newcastle. Okay, now this is where the comment sections is going to start attacking me. Newcastle have the quality to finish much higher, but with a new manager coming in, there are always question marks. And what's the theme of this season? New managers everywhere. 5 of the traditional big clubs have new managers, and Newcastle have also changed boss. So I'm expecting some teams to need time to adapt. Newcastle are one of them. 15th, yes, I said it. 14th, Crystal Palace. Palace are one of those teams where I generally have no idea what they're going to do. They could finish 14th, they could finish 8th, they could randomly beat Man City 4-0. You just never know. But I'm going safe. 14th. 13th, Brentford. Brentford are basically the Premier League's annoying little brother. You could think they're finally going to drop off, and then they beat someone 2-0. Then they draw with someone, then they score from a corner, then they beat another big team, and somehow they're still there. So for me, they're 13th in this Premier League season. 12th, Brighton. Brighton are another team I could see finishing higher. They're very good at developing players and playing attractive football. But I think this season is going to be slightly inconsistent. They'll have some amazing performances and then they'll lose to a team everyone expected them to beat. 12th. 11 Spurs. I'm not even going to explain this one. Actually, I will. New managers, new ideas, new expectations, and probably a new excuse every time they will lose. I think Spurs can improve, but I don't see them making Champions League this season. 11th, just outside the top 10. 10th, Nottingham Forest. I think Forest are actually going to be pretty solid this season. They're one of those teams that could make life horrible for bigger clubs. I don't think they're quite good enough for Europe though, but I also don't think they're gonna get dragged into the relegation battle. So I'm putting them right in the middle. 10th, perfectly balanced as all things should be. 9th, Everton. Now this is interesting. I think Everton are going to surprise people. They've got enough experience to avoid the relegation battle. I think they could have a really good season. Not quite Europe, but comfortably top half. Ninth. Eighth Sunderland. Yes, eighth. I've got Sunderland as the highest finished promoted teams. And I know some of you are looking at this table thinking, bro, what are you cooking? I don't know, but I am cooking. Sunderland could be one of the surprise packages of the season. They've got nothing to lose. They can just go out there and cause problems. And if they get momentum early, watch out. Eighth. Seventh, Bournemouth. Bournemouth are another team I could see surprising people. They're one of the traditional giants, but they've shown they can compete. I think they could sneak into the European conversation, but I'm not putting them in the top six. Seventh, so close yet so far. Six, Chelsea. Now we're getting serious. And Chelsea have one of the most interesting managerial situations this season. Xabi Alonso. One of the biggest managerial appointments of the summer. This could either be absolutely brilliant or Chelsea fan could be searching how to win the Europa Conference League. I think Alonso will eventually get them playing really good football, but with a new manager, I think they'll need an adjustment period. So I'm putting Chelsea 6th. 5th, Aston Villa. Villa have been seriously competitive in recent years, and I think they'll still be around for the European places. But I think the Champions League level competition is going to make things difficult. They're good enough for the top 5, but not quite enough for top 4. 4th, Liverpool. And before Liverpool fans start typing, listen, I'm not saying Liverpool are bad. Sorry, they're far from it. But they've got a new manager, and a replacing manager who has already delivered at the highest level is never easy. There could be an adjustment period. I still think that finish in Champions League places, but fourth. Third place, Arsenal. Now, this is probably one of the most controversial parts of my prediction because Arsenal are the defending Premier League champions. They've got stability. They've got Mikel Arteta. They've got. I mean, they're going into the season with a real chance of going back to back. But I don't think they win it. I think they'll finish third. Still amazing season, but unfortunately for Arsenal, I'm predicting someone else takes the trophy. If you know what I mean. Second, Manchester City. I know, putting City second is illegal, but so is the 115 charges we don't know about. Okay, okay. Allegations, don't sue me. Anyways, City are still City. They're going to be fighting for the title, but I think this season is different. There's been a lot of changes around the squad and the club, and with a new manager coming in, Enzo Maresca, there's going to be an adjustment period. So I'm predicting Man City for a second. First place, United. The moment you've all been waiting for. First is United. I've said it. Manchester United are winning the Premier League. And before anyone says, you're delusional, maybe, but hear me out. United have had a massive turnaround under Michael Carrick. They finished third last season and got back into the UCL. And now Carrick could get a full season to build this team. They've also strengthened the squad. And if the new signing clicks, if the midfield works, if the defense stays consistent, and if United actually learn how to finish games, I think they could challenge for the title. And honestly, I don't want a boring prediction. I don't want Arsenal. I want City winning. I want chaos. So, Man United are my winners for this season. So, this is my Premier League table I've made. Will I be completely wrong? Probably. Will I regret putting Sunderland 8th? Maybe. Will I regret putting United first? Absolutely not. Because whenever United lift that trophy, I will be returning to this video. And if I'm wrong, you are legally required to forget this video ever existed. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.